glorious land. And so as we continue to study, we're going to see that God's chosen people then became someone else. Now, this is very important that we understand this, because as we go through Daniel 11, we're going to see that the ruler of the king of the north changing consistently down through Daniel 11 chapter. It's going to move from the Seleucids on down. And then eventually we're going to see the king of the south change as well. And we're going to understand that the glorious land, which is represented by the Jews, which they forfeited that distinct name in 34 AD, we're going to see that change as well. And it's very key that you and I understand what's taking place in order to follow this line of prophecy all the way down to where we are now in 2008. Let's go back now and read again. Well, I already read verses 6. We read it. Let's put one more thing on the screen. One more thing on the screen. This is a commentary from the Seventh-day Adventist Bible commentary. It says, Israel should have been a light to all the world. But because of stubborn rebellion, Jerusalem and Israel was now a byword and a reproach among the nations of the earth. During the time of the rule of the king of the north and the king of the south, Israel, which was caught between these two powers, should have been the dominant world power. All roads should have been coming to Jerusalem. They should have been a light among the nations at the time. But because of their disobedience, they were spiritually weak, and as a result of their spiritual weakness, they were also military weak. And as this commentary says, they were just a byword in the nations at that time. They were, when the king of the north defeated the king of the south, then Israel had to pay tribute to the king of the north. When the king of the south defeated the king of the north, then Israel had to pay tribute to the king of the south. And it went back and forth, back and forth. They were just a byword. There was no one paid them any attention. They were nothing. Because they were spiritually weak, they were also militarily weak. Now, let's continue. Here we see a chart depicting the changes as it takes place. Excuse me. From 280 BC, we have the king of the north being set up, and the king of the south being set up. Now, if you look at the top, you see the king of the north moves from Syria or the Seleucids to pagan Rome. And this final transition took place in 64 BC. However, pagan Rome had come to become a dominant world power in 168 BC. But the Seleucids, the king of the north, was really subdued and defeated in 64 BC, completely wiped out. Pagan Rome rules until 476 AD, as you look at your chart. From 476 AD, we got that little space there, and then Papal Rome takes over from 538 AD down to